If you clicked on this, you already know this is going to be a different episode. If you've ever heard the word authentic, you might think, hold on, okay, that just means being original and truthful. And look, not everyone needs to be authentic, it's perfectly fine to not be, but for those who are, these 6 points are their foundations. Although being able to perform art, and in this case hip-hop wordplay, with skill is important, people over time have stressed that presenting art that is a genuine reflection of who the artist is and what the artist has been through takes precedence. It's about staying truth. And look, it's important for society as well, not just music, because young people have reported being highly skeptical of seeking help from mental health professionals, often because of a sense of distrust, a lack of cultural competency, and or finding them unrelatable. Counselors are the key to helping kids get the support they need, and hip-hop tradition is one method that is useful for this beyond music. Authenticity in hip-hop therefore is defined in 6 dimensions. Social psychological is the first. It's aimed at determining whether people are being true to themselves or willingly abandoning their own sense of self in pursuit of mass trends. Being able to speak to the lived experiences of both yourself and other people provides credibility, which ultimately results in a stronger connection to those who listen. People aren't just listening though, they're feeling your words. In this aspect, people must also be able to openly express their real experiences, as well as feel heard, validated, and be unjudged by those who listen. This presents a valuable opportunity for artists to use the lyric writing process to encourage construction of introspective lyrics, aka supporting exploration of their lived experiences and particular emotional themes that they feel are important. To use hip-hop lyric writings in practice, all opinions aside, the artist should think on what the aim for feeling is from their music. What do you want people to feel? Strong racial ties is the second aspect, specifically a commitment to pro-people of color messages, which is also a key aspect of authenticity in hip-hop. Notions of adhering to the African American experience are a crucial component, and by disassociating oneself from this culture, a hip-hop artist opens himself or herself to charges of maybe selling out. The whole point is that people must engage in constant self-reflection and raise their own self-awareness and remove biases. In this sense, the artist is practicing cultural humility. You're more open to what other people have to say and what other people do, but you're also open to explaining your point of view. The third aspect is the political economic dimension of authenticity, which is an expansion of the concept of selling out. What is it? In this sense, it's a deliberate removal of one's genuine persona and music from the underground, which is the community from which the individual came, to purely embrace some sort of a commercial aim. Similarly, the fourth aspect, the social locational dimension of authenticity, is all about when individuals remove themselves physically from those whom they grew knowledge from to live in a different area. They are essentially distancing themselves from their roots. You have to empathize with who you are before you can start preaching lessons about life. Actively look at yourself, the knowledge you have, the belief that you can offer, and then expand from there. Abandoning your core key principles is only really a good thing if you grew up around negativity. People where you grew up around have experiences that only show those things. And if you want to help them, you have to let other people know that this is what they're going through and this is genuinely what it's like to be here. The fifth aspect is the gender-sexual dimension of authenticity, which criticizes being emotional, suggesting that demonstrating weakness or vulnerability makes someone fake. There's always support for being hard or being able to push through challenges as a symbol of being real, but the truth is, this scope varies for person to person, and you can't judge based on what someone else could bear. Everyone comes from somewhere different, was raised on different principles, and exposed to different events. The final dimension is culture. It reinforces hip-hop's status as a culture that has deep, resonating traditions rather than as a commodity. What this means is that you treat your voice as a holistic representation of one's experience and not as a product. It's not, I grew up with these cultures and therefore I can only be this. It's, I grew with something that started here, and this made me who I am, and this is what I've grown to and will explore. Here is what you can learn from what I've said.